All right, listeners, ready to dive deep into the world of motorcycles?
Always.
Today we're looking at the 2024 KTM RC 390.
Oh, yeah. A really interesting bike.
Specifically for those of you out there thinking about getting into riding for the first time.
Yeah, that first bike is so important.
And our main source for this deep dive is a review by K.R. Andre,
Sounds familiar.
published on January 18th this year, 2025,
Okay, so pretty up to date.
on bikermotorrider.com.
I've definitely read some of their stuff.
What really stood out to me in Andre's review is just how much this bike seems perfect for beginners.
Yeah, it seems like KTM really nailed it with this one.
Like they designed it with new riders in mind. From the safety features to the handling, there's just so much to talk about here.
Where do we even begin?
Well, one of the first things Andre talks about is how incredibly lightweight this bike is.
Yeah, it's a featherweight.
Coming in at just 172 kilograms.
Or 379 pounds for our American listeners.
For a new rider, think about navigating a tight parking lot.
Oh, yeah, that could be tricky.
Or just feeling confident when you're moving at lower speeds. That lighter weight is going to make a huge difference.
You got that right.
Okay, but here's a question I had.
Sure.
Isn't a 373cc engine
Okay.
maybe a little much for a beginner?
That's a fair point.
It's pushing 43 horsepower.
I see what you mean.
It's not exactly a tiny little engine.
No, it's not.
No.
But I think that's actually one of the things that makes the RC390 so special. You're getting that thrill of acceleration. The fun of having that power on tap.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that it's going to feel overwhelming or intimidating.
Like that Goldilocks engine you were saying.
Yeah, not too much, not too little. Just, right.
Andre also seemed really impressed by all the safety features packed into this bike.
Oh, for sure.
Which, again, seem really well suited for newer riders.
Definitely, especially that cornering ABS.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
So how exactly does cornering ABS work?
Well, imagine you're riding along and you have to brake hard in a turn.
A lot of bikes can get a little shaky in that situation.
I can see that.
You know, you lose some traction.
Yeah.
Cornering ABS helps prevent that. It gives you more control.
More stability.
Exactly. And that builds confidence.
Especially when you're just starting out.
You're right.
And speaking of feeling comfortable,
Yeah.
Andrew even mentioned that the adjustable seat height and the riding position are both surprisingly comfortable even for longer rides.
Now, that's not something you always find on a sportier bike.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Most sport bikes are all about that aggressive lean forward position.
Yeah.
Hunched over.
But the RC390, they've made it a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
So you can actually enjoy those longer rides
Yeah.
without feeling like you're going to be cramped up or sore the next day.
Got to prioritize that comfort.
Right.
So you've got the lightweight design,
Check.
a balanced engine,
Check.
confidence-inspiring safety features. I'm liking this already.
Me too.
Now let's get into some of the really standout features that Andre highlighted in the review.
Okay.
The first one that caught my eye was the compact design.
Ah, yes, the RC390 is super nimble.
Andre made a point of saying just how easy it is to handle in traffic.
Imagine yourself zipping through city streets
Whoa, okay.
or filtering between cars.
Yeah.
This bike just makes it a breeze.
I'm already picturing myself getting through rush hour on this thing.
Yeah, way better than being stuck in a car.
Andre also raved about the TFT display.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice touch.
Now, I'm a bit old school. When I started riding, it was all about those classic analog gauges.
Yeah, I get that.
But this full-color TFT display just looks so slick.
It's beautiful and it's super functional. You know, everything's really clear and easy to read.
Yeah.
All the essential information right there at a glance.
Speed, RPM, fuel level, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly.
So you're not fumbling around with controls
Nope.
while you're trying to, focus on the road.
Super important for a new rider.
For any rider.
I mean, you don't want to be distracted.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a compact design, an easy-to-read display.
Yeah.
What else makes this RC390 stand out?
Well, we've talked about cornering ABS,
Right.
but I think it's worth mentioning again
Yeah.
just how important that feature is for safety.
Especially for beginners.
It really does give you that extra layer of protection and helps you stay in control even in those unexpected situations.
Okay, now for the slightly more technical stuff.
All right, let's get nerdy.
Andre mentioned something called an inverted front fork.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Break that down for me.
Okay, so the front fork is what connects your front wheel to the handlebars.
Okay.
And it plays a huge role in how the bike handles books and absorbs shocks.
I gotcha.
An inverted front fork is basically designed to provide a much smoother and more controlled ride,
Interesting.
especially over rough surfaces.
So it's like having really good shock absorbers for your bike.
That's a great way to put it.
And why is that a big deal for newer riders in particular?
Well, for one, it just makes the ride more comfortable,
Yeah.
especially for someone who might not be used to all the bumps and vibrations you get from riding a motorcycle.
Right.
But it also contributes to better handling and stability,
Okay.
which are crucial for new riders.
Makes sense.
Right.
Andrea also mentioned the aero-designed fairing.
Now, that's not just about looking cool,
I was about to ask you about that.
although it does look pretty cool.
It does.
But it's actually designed to reduce wind resistance.
Hmm.
So you'll experience less buffeting at higher speeds.
Yeah.
And the bike will just feel more stable overall.
So form and function all rolled into one.
Exactly.
All right, what's next on the list?
Let's talk tires.
Oh, yeah. Crucial.
The RC390 comes equipped with wide tires that provide excellent grip.
Okay.
And they're not just any tires.
Hmm.
We're talking Michelin tires here,
Oh, wow.
known for their quality and performance,
That's pretty reassuring.
especially for a new rider.
Yeah, you want that grip.
Absolutely. You want to feel connected to the road,
Makes sense.
especially when you're starting out.
Okay, and last but not least,
Uh-huh.
Andre highlighted the RC390's impressive fuel efficiency,
Oh, yeah?
which seems like a pretty big deal for new riders
You got that right?
who, might be juggling gear costs and everything else.
Yeah.
That comes with getting into motorcycling.
Huge bonus.
Save some money in my pump.
More money for those fun rides and adventures.
Okay, so we've covered the basics,
Check.
the safety features,
Yep.
some of those standout features.
Hi.
I'm really starting to see what makes this bike so special.
Me too. It's a winner.
Now let's get into the heart of it all, performance and handling.
This is where the RC390 really shines,
Okay, I'm ready.
especially for beginners.
Yeah, Andrea was super impressed by this aspect.
They said it strikes that perfect balance between having enough power to make things fun and exciting,
Yeah.
but not so much that it feels intimidating, like that sweet spot,
Yeah.
that Goldilocks zone.
They mentioned the Quick Shifter Plus feature,
Oh, yeah.
which seems pretty high-tech.
So the Quick Shifter Plus allows you to shift gears without using the clutch lever,
Okay.
especially when you're accelerating. So it makes for smoother, faster gear changes.
Yeah.
Adds a little bit of a sporty feel to the riding experience.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I had that when I was learning how to ride.
Me too. That would have been amazing. So we've got smooth gear changes,
Yeah.
a balanced engine.
Uh-huh.
What about handling?
Andrew was super impressed with the handling as well.
Okay, good to hear.
They described it as nimble, agile, and easy to maneuver, both at low speeds and when you're leading into corners.
I'm impressed.
And they attributed a lot of that to the lightweight frame and the low center of gravity.
So it's not just about being lightweight, it's also about how that weight is distributed.
That's exactly right. The low center of gravity makes the bike feel more planted and more stable, especially when you're cornering.
That makes sense.
Right.
Andrea also mentioned the WP Apex suspension.
Ah, yes.
I'm assuming that plays a role in handling too.
Absolutely. Think of it this way. The suspension is what helps the bike absorb bumps and dips in the road.
Okay.
The WP Apex suspension on the RC390 is designed to provide a really smooth and comfortable ride,
Okay.
even on less than perfect roads.
Yeah, because not all roads are perfectly paved.
You got that right.
And for a new rider, that's got to be important.
It is. It helps build confidence.
Makes you feel more comfortable.
You're not getting jostled around so much.
Right. And it also contributes to better handling because the bike stays more composed and predictable even over those rough surfaces.
Absolutely.
All right. And what about stopping power?
We've talked about cornering ABS,
Right.
but what about the brakes themselves?
Are they any good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The RC390 comes equipped with Brembo brakes.
Oh, wow. Those are top of the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Known for their powerful and responsive stopping power. And when you combine that with the cornering ABS, you've got a bike that can stop quickly and safely,
Yeah.
even in those challenging situations.
That's good to know.
Right.
So we've got a lightweight design,
Yeah.
a balanced engine,
Yeah.
smooth shifting,
Mm-hmm.
nimble handling,
Mm-hmm.
a comfortable ride,
Yeah.
and powerful brakes.
Sounds like they've thought of everything,
It really does.
doesn't it?
But here's the million-dollar question.
Hit me with it.
How does all of this actually translate into real-world riding experiences?
That's what we're going to explore next.
Especially for a new rider.
We're going to dive into how the RC390 fits into a beginner's lifestyle,
I like it.
from commuting to weekend adventures,
Mm.
and even the social aspects of riding.
That's what I want to hear about.
So stick around.
Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into the 2024 KTM RC 390.
It's going to be good. So let's imagine you're a new rider, you've got your gear, you're feeling that excitement and maybe a little bit of nervous energy.
You know those butterflies in your stomach?
Exactly.
It's a big step.
It is.
Getting that first bike.
For sure.
How does the RC 390 fit into your everyday life?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
Because a bike can have all the bells and whistles in the world.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't actually work for your lifestyle...
It's not going to be a good fit.
Right.
And that's what I appreciate about Andrew's review.
Mm.
They really delve into the practical side of things.
Like how?
For example, they highlight how fantastic the RC 390 is for city commuting.
Okay.
Remember that compact size we talked about?
Uh-huh.
Makes zipping through traffic a breeze.
No more being stuck in rush hour.
Right?
I can already see myself weaving through those cars.
Finding parking with ease.
Just enjoying that sense of freedom.
It's a game changer for anyone who's tired of being stuck in their car.
Yeah, especially in a busy city.
And don't forget about that fuel efficiency.
Oh, yeah.
Fewer trips to the gas station.
Saves you time. And money.
Okay, but I have to admit.
I'm a little bit skeptical about the comfort factor for commuting.
Okay, I heard you.
A lot of sport bikes have those really firm seats.
Yeah, they can get uncomfortable after a while.
Especially if you're, stuck in traffic.
What did Andrew say about that?
Well, they actually addressed that.
Okay, good.
And while the seat is on the firmer side,
Mm-hmm.
they did say that they found it to be surprisingly comfortable, even for longer commutes.
Okay.
And they specifically mention that more relaxed riding position.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Especially compared to,
Some of those more aggressive sport bikes.
Right.
Where you're like really hunched over.
So the RC 390 gets a thumbs up for city riding.
2 thumbs up.
Okay, but what about those weekend adventures?
All right, let's talk about fun.
I'm picturing myself hitting those wind-in country roads.
Feeling the wind in your hair.
Feeling the sun on your face.
Andrew described the RC 390 as an absolute blast to ride on those twisty roads.
Okay, good.
That nimble handling, that responsive engine. It's all about carving corners and having fun.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's sporty enough to make those rides exhilarating.
Yeah.
But it's also comfortable enough for longer distances.
So it's not one of those bikes that leaves you feeling sore and exhausted after a few hours on the road?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
They actually found it to be quite comfortable for longer rides. And they praised that WP Apex suspension for smoothing out all those bumps and dips along the way.
That's impressive.
It is.
So it's that perfect all-rounder.
Yeah, it really is.
It's good for commuting,
Uh-huh.
fun for weekend rides, comfortable enough for those longer distances.
Checks all the boxes.
It really does.
Versatile, accessible. Seems like it strikes that perfect balance.
Okay, but here's something I've always wondered.
What's that?
Isn't riding a motorcycle kind of lonely?
I see where you're coming from.
I mean, you're out there on your own.
Yeah.
No one to chat with, no music.
That's actually a common misconception. Andrew actually touched on the social aspect of riding. And they had some interesting insights.
Like what?
They talked about how getting a KTM isn't just about buying a bike.
Okay.
It's about joining a community.
Really? Tell me more about that.
So KTM has a very active and passionate community of riders. And they organize all sorts of events and group rides. It's a great way to connect with other riders, share experiences, and learn from those who've been riding for years.
That sounds amazing.
It is.
I never really thought of it that way.
It's like having a built-in support system.
Yeah.
And a group of friends who share your passion.
That can be especially valuable for new riders.
Oh, absolutely.
Who might be, feeling a bit intimidated or unsure of themselves.
Yeah, having that community to turn to for advice and encouragement can make a world of difference.
So it's not just about the machine.
Nope.
It's about the people.
The shared experiences.
That sense of belonging.
Exactly.
I love that.
And the RC 390 seems like the perfect bike to introduce you to that world. It's affordable, approachable, and it has that sporty DNA that KTM is known for.
Okay, but Andrew mentioned that the RC 390 has a more relaxed riding position compared to other sport bikes. Does that mean it's not as fun to ride?
Not at all.
Okay, good.
It just means it's more comfortable and less demanding.
Especially for those newer riders.
Who might not be used to that aggressive, lean-forward position that some sport bikes have.
Yeah.
But don't let that fool you. The RC 390 can still handle those twisty roads.
Okay.
And deliver an exhilarating ride.
So it's still got that sporty feel.
Oh, yeah.
But it's more forgiving.
That's a great way to put it.
Andrew said it's a bike that inspires confidence. Whether you're navigating city traffic or pushing it a bit on those winding roads, it's like that friend who's always up for an adventure, but also knows how to chill and enjoy the ride.
I like that analogy.
And that adaptability
is
another thing that makes it so well suited for beginners.
It's a versatile machine.
Speaking of adaptability, Andrew mentioned that the RC390 can handle a variety of road conditions.
They did.
What do they mean by that?
They said it's not just a fair weather bike.
Okay.
It can handle wet roads, bumpy roads, even some light off-roading.
Oh, wow.
Now, obviously, it's not a dirt bike.
Right.
But it's got enough ground clearance and suspension travel to handle those less than perfect conditions.
That's good to know.
Especially for a new rider.
Yeah, because let's be honest, not all roads are perfectly paved.
You got that right.
And for a new rider, having a bike that can handle those varied conditions can make a big difference in terms of confidence and peace of mind.
Absolutely.
So we've got a bike that's great for commuting, fun for weekend rides, comfortable for longer distances, adaptable to different road conditions, and it even comes with a built-in community of riders.
What's not to love?
It seems like KTM has really hit the mark with this bike.
They really have.
And let's not forget about that stylish design.
Oh, yeah, it's a looker.
I can already picture myself cruising down the road,
turning heads,
feeling that sense of pride.
Andrew specifically mentioned how the RC390's bold and stylish design can actually boost a new rider's confidence.
It's about making a statement.
It is.
I think we've painted a pretty comprehensive picture.
I think so, too.
Of how the RC390 fits into a new rider's lifestyle.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But I want to go back to something you said earlier.
What's that?
About the KTM community.
Oh, yeah.
That really intrigued me.
It's a fantastic aspect of owning a KTM.
So what's so special about the KTM community specifically?
You know, a lot of brands have their own communities and followings, but there's something about the KTM community that's particularly welcoming and supportive, especially for new riders.
I'm sensing a story here.
Well, I have a friend who just got into riding a couple of years ago, and she was pretty intimidated at first.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You know, she didn't know anyone who rode.
Yeah.
She felt a bit lost.
Yeah.
And then she bought a KTM Duke.
Okay.
Which is their naked bike model. And she was amazed by how quickly she was welcomed into the KTM community.
That's awesome.
It is.
So what happened?
So she started going to local KTM meetups.
Okay.
Group rides. And she was blown away by how friendly and helpful everyone was.
That's really cool.
It is.
They gave her tips, shared their experiences.
Even invited her on rides that kind of pushed her comfort zone.
Yeah.
In a good way.
That's awesome.
It was really cool to see.
So they really took her under their wing.
They did.
It's a testament to that community.
It is.
They're passionate about riding.
Yes.
But they're also passionate about sharing that passion with others and helping new riders feel comfortable and confident.
And that's something that the KTM community offers in spades. So if you're on the fence about getting into riding, that sense of community could be a deciding factor.
Absolutely.
It's one thing to buy a motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's another thing to feel like you belong to something bigger, to have that network of support and camaraderie.
Okay, I'm officially sold on the community aspect.
Me too.
But let's get back to the bike itself.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
So let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways.
All right.
Before we move on to the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
What are the main points that stand out to you about the RC390?
I think it's a bike that seems tailor-made for new riders.
Yeah.
While still offering the performance and features that more experienced riders would appreciate.
It's that perfect blend of accessibility and excitement.
Exactly.
And when you break it down, it's all about the details. That lightweight and maneuverable design.
Makes it so easy to handle.
Yeah, even for someone who's never ridden a motorcycle before, it's like they've taken away that initial barrier to entry.
That fear of dropping a heavy bike or struggling to control it.
Right.
And then there's that sporty but not intimidating power.
That 333cc engine.
It gives you a taste of that thrill and acceleration.
Yeah, but it's not going to feel overwhelming or scary.
And let's not forget those safety features.
Oh, yeah.
Especially that cornering ABS.
It gives you that added layer of protection.
And helps you stay in control even in those tricky situations.
And speaking of price tags.
Oh, yeah.
The RC390 is incredibly affordable.
Especially considering all the high-end features you're getting.
Yeah.
It's like they packed in all the good stuff without breaking the bank.
And that low maintenance cost.
It's a huge bonus.
You can spend more time riding and less time worrying about expensive repairs.
And beyond the practical aspects, there's that element of fun and comfort. The RC390 is designed to be enjoyable to ride.
Yeah.
Whether you're commuting, exploring, or just cruising around town.
And that sense of community that comes with being a KTM owner.
It's the icing on the cake.
So to sum it all up, the 2024 KTM RC 390 seems like the perfect bike for someone who's looking to get into motorcycling.
It is.
It's affordable, approachable, safe fun to ride.
Yep.
And it comes with a supportive community of riders.
What more could you ask for?
But there's one more crucial element that we need to talk about.
And what's that?
And that's the emotional aspect of riding.
Ah, yes.
We've covered the practical side of things.
The features, the specs, the community.
But what about that feeling?
Yeah.
That intangible essence of what it means to ride a motorcycle?
That's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We'll delve into that sense of freedom, that connection with the machine, and that pure joy of experiencing the world on two wheels.
I can't wait to hear your insights.
Stick around.
Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive into the 2024 KTM RC 390.
We're going to get deep.
Oh!
Ready to wrap this up?
For the final part of our deep dive into the 2024 KTM RC 390.
I think we've covered pretty much everything.
We've talked about the specs, the features, the lifestyle fit, even that awesome KTM community. But you hinted that there was one more piece to this puzzle.
Ah, yes.
Something that goes beyond the, nuts and bolts.
It's true. We can talk about horsepower and suspension all day long.
Yeah.
But what truly makes a motorcycle special is the experience. That feeling you get when you twist the throttle and hit the open road.
I've always felt like riding is more than just transportation. It's almost therapeutic in a way.
I completely agree.
You know?
Andrew captures that sentiment perfectly in their review.
Okay.
They talk about the RC390 as a gateway to a world of freedom and self-discovery.
It's about escaping the daily grind.
Connecting with your surroundings.
Yeah.
Feeling truly alive.
I remember when I first started riding, it was almost like a meditation. You're so focused on the road, the bike, the moment.
Everything else just fades away.
That's exactly it.
It's a chance to disconnect from the constant noise of life.
Yeah.
And reconnect with yourself.
And the RC390, with its responsive handling and that engaging engine, it just seems designed to amplify that feeling.
You're not wrong.
Leaning into those curves, feeling the wind rush past the sun on your face.
It's almost like a sensory overload.
But in the best possible way.
It's about engaging all your senses.
Yeah.
Feeling that connection between you and the machine.
And experiencing the world in a whole new way.
Andrea also talked about how riding can be a real confidence booster.
Oh, yeah. Especially for new riders.
Especially for new riders.
Why is that?
Well, they made a great point about how mastering a motorcycle, even a smaller one like the RC390, can give you a sense of accomplishment and empowerment.
Like you've conquered a challenge.
Yeah, and that feeling translates into other areas of your life.
I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
There's a sense of pride that comes with knowing how to handle a motorcycle.
Right.
It's something that stays with you.
Even when you're off the bike.
It's about pushing your boundaries.
Stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Realizing that you're capable of more than you thought. And the RC390, with its approachable design and those confidence-inspiring features, it seems like the perfect tool for that journey.
It's like that saying, life is a journey, not a destination. And the RC390 is the perfect companion for that journey.
I like that.
Okay, so we've talked about the freedom,
Yeah.
the connection, the confidence.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything else that stands out to you about the emotional side of riding the RC390?
I think the biggest thing is that the RC390 isn't just a bike. It's a passport to a world of possibilities.
I like that.
It's a chance to explore new roads, meet new people, create memories that will last a lifetime.
It's like a spark
Yeah.
that ignites a fire within you.
Suddenly you're not just commuting to work. You're seeking out adventures.
Exploring back roads.
Maybe even planning a cross-country trip.
Okay, I'm getting that travel bug just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
And I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed with the 2024 KTM RC 390.
It's a fantastic machine.
It checks all the boxes, performance, style, value,
Uh-huh.
and that all-important emotional connection.
I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about,
I think so, too.
whether they're a seasoned rider or just starting out.
Yeah.
We hope this exploration has sparked their curiosity.
And maybe even inspired them to get out there
Yeah.
and experience the joy of riding for themselves.
Until next time,
Ride safe, ride smart, and most importantly,
ride with passion.
that's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See ya.